it's really fun to just be a very poor decision maker making confidently bad decisions. And I love this sort of like person that like envisions themselves as an excellent boss and is really just ruining the lives of everyone around them.
I have a funny feeling that's me in real life, but how would I know?
A little bit of self-reflection on a Thursday evening. Nothing wrong with it. Like, why do I have to go to the little globe and then continents and then worlds? Like, Earth isn't a continent. Problem number one. Right, I know I've had a few beers tonight, but Earth's not a continent. Like, why? I think what I feel is like the disconnect is that before you were in the world and the matches were like a nice little aside, and now it feels like the whole purpose of the UI is to get you from game to game as quickly as possible. There's an A there as well.
It's what? Where?
So like, it's the same shape as the one at the bottom.
This is great podcasting.
Yeah, I really hope everyone's watching this on video because this is incredible
please
content.
Follow the podcast on Spotify. Listen to the audio-only version. You'll get a lot out of it.
Like it's like.
Welcome, audience, to the WFM Show. My name is Alice, and this is your home for all things women's football in the beautiful game of Football Manager. Before I introduce my co-hosts today, if you'll indulge me for just a moment while I regale you of a story about Football Manager. Give me a sec, let me just bring it up on my screen. The year is 2055 and I am stood pitchside in a blistering Catalan heat. The white broken lines in the grass that surround me feel like a prison of my own making. The scoreboard stares cruelly at me. Liverpool 3, Llantwit Major 1. 93 minutes remain on the clock. Why did I even bother? I try to shout encouragement to my players, but my throat is raw and the words are lost within those of a roaring crowd who cheer further whenever the red shirt touches the ball. I look back towards my bench in a vain hope that it will provide some sort of an answer. My assistant manager stares back at me. He doesn't say anything, but he doesn't have to. His face tells me all I need to know. There is nothing I can do. My options have waned and my influence on this Champions League final are nil. When the final whistle comes, it cuts through my soul like a knife, cruel and merciful at the same time. I grimace at the prospect of vacuous questions that awake me by a vindictive press. My night is over. It is 3 weeks later and the dust has settled. I call the Llantwit board to a meeting. They praise me for my success despite defeat in the final, and I ask what I'd like to discuss. I remind them of our success over the last 32 years, and despite never actually winning the Champions League, we are among the most accomplished teams within not only Wales, but the whole British Isles. We should build a new stadium to celebrate this success, I passionately suggest, to show the world what we're about and to push us to the next level. I know the fans are behind me here. They pause for a moment that feels like an eternity of discussion without speaking, an eternity that my heart does not beat, until finally they give me their response. No, Jenna Park is perfectly suited to a club of our stature. The gravy.
Fucking Jenner Park.
This is a villain origin story in slow motion.
Thank you for indulging me. There is no need to be kind. I am not a writer.
Well, we're kinder than your board is.
Yeah.
Once again, all roads lead to Jenner Park.
And trap you there.
So,
no matter your successes.
I would like to introduce you both to today's podcast. So, audience, my fellow co-hosts are back. We're all back together this week. Katy, we missed you in our previous episode. How are you doing, friendo?
I am great. obviously gutted not to be in the last episode, but I think JM gets a solid 7.5 in his performance review.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Fantastic. Ank, how are we doing?
We're actually demoting Katy. You're now a squad player. JM, we think there's something there. Maybe future prospect, maybe fringe player. It's under debate. But you know, I hope that you can accept this decision without making a fuss.
I am going to speak to my agent, and we will see you in the boardroom.
Okay.
We'll have a very frank conversation.
Yeah. Be careful. The boardroom. We can't pay for backgrounds anymore, so it's a much simpler boardroom than it used to be.
Someone stole the belief sign.
I turned another year older this week, and I am in my feelings about it. So
happy year of your birth, or celebration of birth, I guess.
Yeah.
More
birthday, I think, Alice.
Birthday. That is what they're called.
I was trying to be fancy about it, like. And
congratulations on this memorial of the last 365 days of your life. Yeah.
It's gone now. There'll be another, probably.
Probably.
So the reason I regaled my co-hosts, and now you, of course, audience, with a delightful story of my time at Llantwit Major in FM 24, actually, sorry, is because today we're going to be talking about narratives within a save. And then we're going to move on to some save ideas that potentially we think would be good for yourselves to start. So, Katy, since you left us in the last episode, since you abandoned us, I'm going to start with you. I know it's going to be a vague question, like quite an open question, but for you, what does the narrative mean within a save?
So I think one of the things, narrative's one of the things I enjoy the most about Football Manager, right? And I think a lot of it comes from the world that you can kind of create around the game. So whether that's like players that come through your youth intake that you then keep an eye on, the random like 2-star signings that you make that actually turn out to be really good because they just work in your team. But also like the wider world as well. Like I really liked, I guess, depending on your viewpoint, being able to go and like look at other parts of the world and be like, what's happening in Argentina, Brazil, that sort of thing. And one of the things that I think always really sticks out are those little random moments, you know, sort of like your example, like the little Champions League finals. The Champions League finals, like the cup games, like games where like you have like an unexpected hero, or like seasons where you have an unexpected hero. And I actually like this year my save is all about like a journey, right? I didn't start with a specific club, like I've just kind of seen where the wind takes me. And I think those are the saves where the narrative becomes super important because it's centered around your manager and it becomes your story. And it's one of those things that you could lose yourself in for a long time. And I think with Football Manager, like it's the narratives that make the game. Mm-hmm. Like the game's the vehicle for it, but what people create around it through content or even just like for ourselves, I think that's the real beauty of it. Yeah. So.
Ank, what's important with a narrative for you?
So I think the way that I start most RPGs, simulation games, anything that has like a sense of progression like that is I usually don't start with the like faction or club or team or whatever that I'm playing. I try to envision like my protagonist. I don't tend to play games as myself. I know that's a lot of people do, and they think of like their manager as like a stand-in that way. I might share like personality traits with my manager or something like that. I may use I as shorthand for like my decision-making chain. But I try to have like somebody that has a distinct perspective, a distinct background, a vibe, a personality that is not necessarily my own. And then I try to think about like, okay, well, what clubs would that fit with, or what person would fit with a club? How do these things go hand in hand and build towards like a larger story that we're telling here? And so FM24 was my first FM, so I don't have like a huge frame of like cabinet of stand-in protagonists going for this game in particular. I tend to like kind of knuckle down and have like one guy that's my guy. So like in FM24, I was carrying on the same character that I had used in my FC24 player career. I was just playing out basically his like post-playing career retirement, and transition to management. And then ended up playing like way longer in FM than I ever did in FC. So, you know, it was like a 2-year playing career versus a 20-year managerial career. And for FM26, I've been thinking about like protagonists in kind of a similar way. For my streaming, I have kind of a silly narrative, because I think sometimes it's easier to share with other people what is silly and gimmicky and has a hook versus something that's like personal and impactful and almost intimate in a sense. Like there are stories that we tell for ourselves, and then there are stories that we tell for other people, and we don't necessarily tell those stories the same way.
I like that idea of having, instead of focusing so much on the club or the world, you focus more on your person, on your character. And I have been watching I've managed to catch quite a bit of your streams, and in your beta save, your character was Sue Sylvester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From Glee.
There was some intellectual property theft going on with that one.
Yes,
but
just a touch.
You watched enough of it, I think, also to realize at a certain point that I wasn't really connecting with that character because it wasn't my character. Like I was having fun with her, but it wasn't something that I could like sustain multi-season. Because I'm like, well, this is kind of someone else's narrative I've nicked rather than what I was growing.
That one, I imagine, would have been quite difficult to truly connect with that character, because she is a very mean indiviquill.
She is like an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did lose the dressing room in the beta save very quickly.
But what I do like is that it forces you to play the game in a different manner. Like, I think we can often start our saves in Football Manager and it gets very samey what we're doing. We'll use the same tactics. We'll talk to our players in the same way. We'll make our negotiations in a similar manner. But if you are playing as a different character and forcing yourself to role play that character, then you have to do what they would do in that instance. And I imagine that is quite difficult, like you mentioned, to connect with, where she's mean and Ank, you seem like a lovely person and not at all the monster that is the Glee head teacher. Yeah. Is she head teacher? I don't remember.
She's a cheerleading coach.
Cheer coach, yeah.
Oh, right. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I think she was blackmailing the head teacher at one point.
Yeah, they had a whole like rivalry going on.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned that, it kind of got me thinking. So you've got that Glee character, and in your newest save, you've got the old school manager that has been frozen in time for 100 years or so, and you have to play the game in the way that manager would have played in the late 1900s, which I absolutely love. And I started to think about fictional characters from movies, from games, from TV series that would be great to have as that manager. And so I just love that, because you open up an entire world. Like, yes, there's a little bit of intellectual copyright issues, but it's a fun home save. What can you say?
For sure, it's for you.
So, Katy, with that, I'll give you a moment to think about it. Do you have any fictional characters that you would think, yeah, like they would be incredible to try and role play in a game of Football Manager? The way we could skip the pause.
I was going to say, like, Chris is going to have to edit a lot of this thinking.
Yeah.
Or thinking noises.
Just honestly, all that's running through my head right now is the Faulty Towers theme tune.
See,
Basil Fawlty.
that's perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I was
Basil
actually going to
Fawlty
say
himself.
Wednesday Addams would be hilarious. Just total deadpan, like no regard for the squad at all, and just like, don't bother me with this. Like, you've got a job to do, just do it. I think it'd be really good.
I do imagine that'll probably get you sacked quite quickly when you're in conversations with the board, though, because you're going to be a little.
You can only blow them off so many times.
I would send Thing to all the board meetings, and I would just deal with the training.
Well, to be fair, Thing is quite a charismatic individual, so yeah, you could.
I want to be Thing.
Fantastic, Hank.
I like that.
I'm Katy's Thing.
Yeah.
For anyone that's listening.
I hadn't hit my quota of clippable minutes, so
we're
getting in there.
We're getting there.
Anyone that is listening to today's podcast, Hank was imitating a Thing from Adam's Family.
Yeah, I think Basil Fawlty or Wednesday Addams, like two very different sides of a coin, but I think they would be my two.
Is there any characters that you've thought about, Hank, that you haven't yet? Were there any other characters that you would want to play in your FM26 save if you weren't playing as the... I can't remember what you called your character.
Oh, he's the Bogman.
Zombie,
right
isn't he?
His name is Cledden Boggs, but that's literally just the name of the closest bog to Hereford. So he has adopted the name of the bog. Yeah, he's.
Did he forget his name? Is that part of the narrative?
Part of the mystery, Alice. We're building it up. I don't think we firmly nailed down what kind of immortal creature he is. Like we know he was human once, and he is not really human currently. But this is a path of discovery. I do like vastly incompetent men. Like the Michael Scott, David Brent kind of model of manager. Yeah. The problem in Football Manager is you will lose your job eventually. Yeah. You can only be so mediocre. I worry about that with my current save because I'm like, I will get sacked eventually because this isn't going to work long term. But it's really fun to just be a very poor decision maker making confidently bad decisions. And I love the sort of person that envisions themselves as an excellent boss and is really just ruining the lives of everyone around them.
I have a funny feeling that's me in real life, but how would I know?
A little bit of self-reflection on a Thursday evening. Nothing wrong with that.
I do like that idea, taking that fictional character. What I tend to do though is I often role play as myself, but I role play myself as with a twist. So in the case of FM24, I had a couple of different saves where I would just give myself a prefix. So in my last one of FM24, I was the fixer. So that was this, if you give yourself a prefix for the name, you can then make the world based on that. So what I would do is I would find a club in the second tier of a nation that I felt as though in decades gone by were a top tier team and they should be back there. And so I would go to that second tier team. I would fire them back up to the first division and then I would move on. So I would get them to a place where I was comfortable that they were going to survive and then move on. And then I would go around Europe doing that, just fixing clubs as I went along. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be after an individual character, but more a case of just play as yourself, but have a limitation on yourself, or in the case of a fixer, just something that you are, that is your personality. That is what you want to do in life. And I think that can be a great way to play the game. So enough about us as managers in the world of Football Manager. When you make a save, how important is the world? Does the world actually matter? Like, what leagues are the leagues you're loading up truly going to matter at all? Or is it all the same? If you are completely oblivious to real life football, you have no affiliations, does loading up America and loading up the UK, are they going to be like, how does that change us as people playing Football Manager?
I think for me it depends on the save. I think I watch a lot of football, like, in real life anyway. So I always quite like to feel, I guess, like, connected to the world around my club. Like, one of the things actually that I'm really missing in 26 is feeling like I've got a connection to the rest of the footballing world. It just feels so insular. And I'm really kind of struggling with that. So one of the things I really enjoyed in 24 was that I could put players on a short list, or I could follow clubs and stuff, and I could, like, tailor the information that I was getting. So I could watch the World Cup, I could watch, like, the under-20s World Cup if I was doing a youth save. I could follow the different teams that my family have, like, an affiliation to, or my character has an affiliation to. And I think the world does matter. I think it depends on the type of save you're playing, but I think, like, a lot of my saves, I set myself a goal at a club and then I move on, right? So on 23, I started with Red Star Paris. My goal was to topple PSG. We did that, but never quite won a Champions League. And then...
Like Slantwit?
Yeah, basically. Ironically, I think I also lost to Liverpool in a final, which was a bit bittersweet. But and then from there, I looked around the world and I realised that both Verona clubs were in Serie B. And I was like, well, I'll pick one and I'll do some Romeo and Juliet nonsense. That'll be fine. And I think, like, when you're looking at that sort of narrative-driven setting up your save, if I'd only loaded in France, I wouldn't have had that. And I know a lot of people, like, load a couple of leagues and then have everything else view only, which I get because obviously computing limitations and stuff. But I think you lose a lot of depth that way. So yeah, I think it does matter. I think it's one of those things that very much depends on how you play the game. But it's something I'm really missing in 26, like, just feeling immersed in the world. It's just not there. And I hope it gets better, but I'm having to do a lot more legwork to sort of build that picture of where the actual footballing world's at.
Yeah, I'm kind of... With FM26, I'm not 100% sure what the issue is. I haven't been able to nail it down. And I think it might have to do with the UI more than anything, in that I've struggled so far to build a connection as you're mentioning. It's important to have a connection with the wider world, not just you and your league. I have really struggled to understand what's going on elsewhere in the world, like, because the information isn't being given to me in a way that makes sense or like is kind of easier to read than it was in FM24. I struggle to find other leagues, like I just finding the table for a league I'm not in. I always feel like I have to go so far. Like, I have all these menus to go through to find it.
Honestly, sometimes finding the table for the league that I am in.
Yeah.
It's like 4 clicks to get there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is, like, I don't know if it's so much the UIs as the UX, right? Like, it's the experience rather than the interface.
Yeah.
I think it's fixable. I think the single biggest win, and I know I'm kind of hijacking this, the single biggest win for me would be being able to customize your portal, right? So if I could say that on my portal I wanted my emails,
yeah,
and then I want my league, the Prem, whatever, and then, like, pick 3 or 4 other tiles that I want to be able to see, like, immediately, like world transfers. Like, why do I have to go to the little globe and then continents and then world? Like, yeah. Earth isn't a continent. Problem number 1. Right, I know I've had a few beers tonight, but Earth's not a continent. Like, why? Right? Like, that could be 1 click, right? It could just be world transfers. Easy button. And I want to think that's where the cards and stuff are going, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think like when you are presented information directly, often it'll be in like a format that just doesn't make intuitive sense and isn't attractive to look at. It'll give you like 4 boxes, and one of them will be like a very abbreviated, not even summary. It's literally like the first 3 lines of an article and then 3 dots that you have to click on and expand. And it's not making use of space very well. It's not, you can't at a glance be like, okay, those are my goal scorers. This is how the match's momentum generally went. Here's what the weather is up in the corner. It doesn't have that neat packaged, I say narrative, but even if you're not framing it in a narrative way, it's just basic information about whatever.
It's like the world building's just not.
You gotta click 3 places to get all of it. And at the same time, you'll see like I got a screenshot from one of my friends the other day that had Kevin De Bruyne retiring. And it had the abbreviated version of Kevin De Bruyne's retirement in one little box. Then in another box, it said, bio not available, stats not available. And then at the bottom was one of those fake tweets where it's like, the pitch's loss is the backroom's gain. And I asked him, I'm like, well, at least you got him as staff, right? And my friend's like, no, he's just gone from the game entirely. He didn't become staff. That tweet was unrelated. And I'm just
I
like,
think that's part of it as well.
I see that they're trying, and I see that the groundwork from 24 is there, but the way it's been packaged has lost the feeling and the utility of what 24 had. Obviously, we're beating the dead horse very dead now, but it does go it does go into what we're largely talking about that connection, about that sense of the world around you.
I think what I found was missing as well, like when we're talking about like world building and stuff, is like on 24, I could lose hours just clicking around. Like, I don't think I click any more than I used to, right? Like, I think I'm doing roughly the same number of clicks per session. But the difference is I got more out of that clicking on 24, right? So, like, I could spend an hour scouting the next gen list, right? This year, it only generates once every 3 or 4 seasons. I think they've fixed that now, to be fair.
I didn't get one in my beta save at all.
But, like, I think it was on the list of, like, 200 fixes for the patch that came out today. But, like, I feel like... Because I was the same as you, Alice. I was like, I'm not...
For the audience, it's the 13th today.
Yes,
the 13th of November.
There's been a few patches.
Like, another 200. I think what I feel is like the disconnect is that before you were in the world and the matches were like a nice little aside, and now it feels like the whole purpose of the UI is to get you from game to game as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's nothing that kind of draws you away from it, right? So, like, the KDB news article, for example, on 24, you'd have had his retirement, you'd have had his, like, playing history, you'd have given the option to keep his history after retirement, so he didn't just vanish from the game. And it would have been dead easy to go and look at, like, Napoli's squad and see who they were replacing him with.
Yeah.
And that's, like, 8 clicks now, right? Because chances are I'll click on it and it'll open, like, the women's team, or it'll open Belgium. I don't want Belgium, I want Napoli, right? And then, like, it's another 3 clicks to get to their youth team, right? Because that's not all on the same page. Yeah, I think there's potential, but it's... I
think another way that I used to engage with the world a lot is, like, and you can, like, debate whether this is really an immersive thing to do or a realistic thing to do, but in the course of matches, if somebody was impressing me, like a player was performing very well for my opposition or something, I would sometimes lose like 15, 20 minutes or an hour, like clicking on that player, looking at his history, looking at his development, looking what he achieved so far, setting up a scout thing for him. And you can't even leave the match now. You're locked into having to focus on the match while you're playing the match. So am I going to remember afterwards to go check that guy out? Not really.
I used to do the same. I used to, like, shortlist them. So I used to have a shortlist for, like, in-game talent, basically. And I would shortlist them on that, and then I would go and find them after the game. I don't even think I can do that. I don't think I can right-click an opposition player this year.
I think you can get their stats when it's paused, but that's it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's intentional by Sports Interactive to take you. So when you're in that match day experience, is to not allow you to leave, because as a manager, we don't leave.
Sports Interactive are now trapping us at Jenner Park as well.
I don't know. Yeah, we have to like do some research on how many managers whip their phone out on the touchline. There's got to be somebody,
this
right?
Is the thing, right? Like, when you watch football now, they have tablets, right?
Yeah,
like they're watching players in real time and going, like, you know, I mean, okay, if you're Ruben Amorim, you've got a tactics board on a bit of paper, but like they're watching stuff like replays instantly. I can't even do that. I can't rewind the game, you know. But yeah, like I think there is something in that. I think they want us to experience the match day experience. But I think one of the things that I love about Football Manager is that it's your game and you can play it how you want. And I feel like you can't do that this year.
Yeah, it does feel like it. One of the things I miss from FM24 that it might be in the game, but I've not noticed it if it is between as the game advances, I get a screen. I can't even remember that much about FM24, but it's a splash screen and it shows all the leagues that you have loaded up on one screen. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Katy, how you kind of like to know what's going on elsewhere in the world. And I love that because I got to see in just a snippet, like who's in the top tier of France, who's about to get relegated from Italy. And like that actually sometimes like would influence my decisions on what to do. So say you've got a team in Italy that is about to get relegated. You click on that team because you want to steal their players that they're about to lose because they're gonna struggle. But right now, I don't know what's happening elsewhere. I don't know what's happening in France. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. I barely even know what's happening in the WSL either. The only thing I know about the WSL is any players that I've loaned from them or I've loaned to them. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. Like it does feel like the world is smaller. And when I want to ask you basically the question I asked Katy as well. Like, how important is the world compared to the importance of your manager yourself? That has to live in it.
I think for me, like, so when I was playing FM24 at the kind of start of my career, I was still learning the game. So I was paying much less attention to it. I couldn't tell you in those years, like, who the Premier League winner was, like, year by year, because I wasn't looking and I was only, like, tangentially aware. But the farther I got into the game, the more that felt like part of the world building. And I could identify former players that were now off at these other teams that were being very successful or very unsuccessful. I could have this sense of like, when I release someone into the world, they are going to go play a part in it somewhere else. And same with, I was like getting players in later on in their careers, and I could go back and I could look at what teams they had been a part of and what kind of achievements they had had at those teams, whether they were like homegrown, one club man kind of guys. And that would shape how I interacted with them, how I thought about them, the lore I developed around them. And that got especially satisfying when we were at the point of like sort of a new gen only universe because everybody else had retired. So like when you're 20 seasons in, that is the basis that you're playing in. That world that you have loaded up for yourself and let determine its own course is the flavor of your save as a whole. And I personally liked engaging with it a lot. I liked seeing when like a striker from Latvia became the best striker in the world. Like that's something that has no real life parallel, and it's cool because it's unique to my save. And I think the less aware you are of what's happening in other leagues, whether you're directly involved with those leagues at all, the more flavor you lose in that sense. And at least for me, as somebody who plays long-term saves, like that's what I want to get out of the game. That's the stuff that I find really satisfying. Think about like when I was streaming the World Cup, I didn't have very many players actually involved in that World Cup, and I wasn't managing a single team during it. But I was watching all of the like quarterfinals and onwards, and it was just as engaging as watching my actual team play.
So,
sorry,
if you're go on, Kay.
No, I was just going to say, like, just when you're talking about like you streaming the World Cup, one of the things I used to really love with FM content was Zealand used to like pick stories out of his saves, like that weren't his team, and like go and report on them, like he was like a journalist type of thing.
I like that.
It's so cool, right? Like it would be like watching Peter Drury, but American and on Football Manager. Like it's awesome. And I just feel like you lose that sort of storytelling element a bit. Like when we're talking about narrative, like I feel like I can't build a narrative this year.
Yeah.
Because I just have no idea what's happening anywhere.
And I think an important caveat to add is like, it's not gone. The world is still being modeled outside of you. There are a couple of specific features that like no longer a thing you can access, like the best 11 of your club is I think not a thing anymore. The where are they now is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But these are all things that are fixable because it's still in the game.
There. Yeah.
We're just not being presented it in a way that puts it to the forefront.
Yeah.
So when you've been at a club for so many years and you're bored of it, for whatever reason, or not even bored of it, you're done with that club. But you did what you went out to. You succeeded in your challenge for that club, or you got sacked. You could have got sacked or anything like that. Do we want to start again? Do we want to load up a new save, build our world again, or do we want to exist in that world? Like, is it more for the both of you? Is it more fun to continue that universe or just get out of there and just restart back to 2025?
So I think on previous FMs, like pre-24, I would just have started again, right? I was absolutely chronic for just restarting saves. But what I tried to do on 24 was if I got sacked or like I was fed up of a manager or like I'd been sacked too many times and couldn't get a job, I would retire that manager but then create a new one in the same world.
Okay.
Right? So you've got like a fresh take on it, but because you're then getting to like 15, 20, 25 years in, it's completely fresh. I think one of the things that, I think part of it's because we had 24 for 2 years. Like, that first 2 years always looked the same, right? And you see it in a lot of creators' videos, they're always signing the same players because they've been signing them for 24 months and they're playing the same 5 years over and over and over and over and over again. And I think like having a world that you can bring new characters and new stories into is probably actually one of the upsides of having had 24 for so long. But yeah, this year I've just restarted. To be fair, it's not my fault. My computer did an update and wiped my documents folder, so I had to restart. Okay. I also had to re-download all of my Sims mods.
Oh no!
Like 3 days. Like, oh man, that's for the non-Football Manager section. But yeah, that's
the true tragedy of this
that's
episode.
A lot of gigabytes. That's a lot of.
Yeah. My computer ran brilliantly after it, though. Actually, might not re-download all of them.
I like that, like having to stay in the same world, and where you mentioned that if you couldn't get a job, you just make a new manager in that world, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where like Ank would make their manager based on a fictional character, and I like the idea that you start off as one fictional character, then 10 years in, when you've done with what you want to do, you bring somebody else in.
That's
so
enough of Wednesday Addams now. It's time for Basil Fawlty.
Exactly. Or you could even have it those characters from the same universe. Like, for example, you could have Sue Sylvester from Glee, and then 10 years in the future, make a new manager that is, I don't know, who's a really nice person in Glee. It's been a while since I've seen
Rachel Berry, but no, she's not a really nice person. She's a...
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's probably the second most likely to be in charge of something.
Well, that's true. Who was that blonde himbo quarterback? Get him in charge.
He was nice. Sam?
Yeah, he was
that
sweet.
Was his name was? Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewatch Glee now.
Yeah,
this is dreadful.
really rewatch.
Oh, what a dreadful timeline to exist in.
I think for me, like, the determinant of, like, whether I'd continue or not is because I'm kind of framing it as, like, protagonist, whether it's my character or fictional character, whatever. It's like, is their story done yet? And if I'm at a point where I feel like, okay, I've taken them as far as they should logically go, this is the point at which they would, like, break from football or retire or go spiral out in a ditch. This is the end of the road for them, then I would probably stop. When I left Wrexham in my, like, long-term FM24 save, I was at a point with the character where I'm like, well, he needs a pivot, but his story's not done. So, but I do like what Katy suggested about inhabiting the same world but creating a new character. I think that's a good compromise point, and it kind of honors, like, the world state that you have already dedicated all this time to.
You could even do it with the same club. And like we were talking, we'll stick with the example of Sue Sylvester and that hardline mentality that she would have in a club, and then, you know, after you're done with Sue, after she goes off and does whatever, create Ted Lasso and take out over the same club. Those two different experiences go, like, I imagine the players would be much happier.
Yeah. I had I think it was an FM23 save, or 22, it was one of the two, where, like, I'd done, like, the whole non-league to legend thing, right? So I'd taken a team from, like, the Vanarama to the Champions League, whatever. And my striker was retiring. I didn't intend to go into management or I couldn't have him as staff, and I was like, right. And I opened the in-game editor, I renamed him, and then I created a manager who was him, right? And I, like, copied in, like, all the cap. Obviously, I couldn't have the whole history.
Right.
And then I played as my striker for, like, another 5 seasons until he got sacked by the board. I did it as, like, he was, like, player manager, and then he took over, and it was cool. And I think that's it. Like, you make your own narrative sometimes, and the game does sort of lean into it a little bit. But if anyone from SI is watching, the ability to take over, like, a player's career, yes, please. Absolutely.
That's something that, like, I didn't know wasn't a feature until I was, like, well into my long career, because that was originally one of my ideas, is, like, I'll just pass this on to, like, my next protege or something.
You can do it on FC, right? Like, you can do, like, a player career and then retire as a player and go to management.
And you can pick, like, a real player to have the player career of. That being said, like, I understand there's some, like, legal and ethical issues about, like, making your player character a real human being.
It would have to be only new gens you'd be able to do it with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's fine. They're the ones that I get the most narrative out of anyway. Like, it's very different. I had, like, a Serbian centre mid, like, 2-3 FMs ago, who, like, won everything. And I loved him. He wasn't real. Like, but did I like him more than Eduardo Camavinga? Absolutely, yes. I did. And if I could have taken him with me, I would have. But alas, we couldn't port saves. So
I love how you touched on something really important for me for FM, and that the results aren't important. The team is, the players, the staff that you have. Like, you can't see it, but just that way. No, that way.
Not Ted Lasso.
That way. Next to Ted Lasso. Next to Ted Lasso is it's a scoreboard, or like a chalkboard, and it's got a team that I had in that fixer save, and in that fixer save, I took players around me. So, like, I started off, I think it was Saint Etienne. No, sorry. Someone else, but I ended up at Saint Etienne, and I had their goalkeeper there, and that keeper came with me a couple of times. I kept signing the same players, and it happened with, like, the new gens as well. I would then, even if they weren't necessarily good enough, I would still take them with me, because I, as sappy as it sounds, like, grew a connection with these players. And it wasn't until that save, until I finished the save, until it was all over, I would kind of move on from that. Like I had closure with those characters from the completion of the save, not necessarily just ending it. I finished what I set out to do, and that gave me completion. However, even if you have that kind of a connection to the people, like the players, the staff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I usually, like in my long save, it would be new gens, because it would be characters whose careers I had seen start, and then felt kind of responsible for. And there were a lot, like when I moved clubs, that I ended up getting on free transfers at like the sunset of their career, because I would look at them and I would be like, I'm not ready for him to be gone from this universe yet. I want the chance to get him to work on his badges. I want to build a team around him and know that his leadership skills are still as strong as they ever were. There were a couple of real life players that also kind of occupied that role for me. I meme about it on stream sometimes, but like Jesse Lingard was like the hero of the first half of my Wrexham save, which like I feel like is a move that actually makes some degree of real life sense, because if anybody was going to go be like on a reality TV show and sign to a club for purposes of being on a reality TV show, I think he's a strong pick for that. But he ended up becoming my assistant manager. And I kept him for the entirety of that save. He switched clubs with me. He quit his job for me. Even in my, and then like every time I went into like an alternate universe version of this save, because I did that sometimes along the way just to see how a decision path would play out. Every single time I quit and went anywhere, he followed me without fail.
That's amazing.
So, and I like that kind of connection, because again, like that is what the game is for me. It's if you don't feel that, what's your incentive to keep playing?
Yeah.
100%. I've just been scrolling through my Twitter to find, he wasn't Serbian, he was Polish. I don't know if I can share my screen. I've put him in like the chat. It was my Polish midfielder, who came out at the age of 18 and carried us to a Champions League at 20 when I was playing as Crystal Palace on FM 22.
I love him.
The screenshot I've got of him, he's 19, he had 15 caps and 5 goals for Poland. He was an absolute monster of a player. And it was the same thing, like I took him, I left Palace after that and I took him, I think it was to Real Madrid, and he won it all. Like, he was just so good. But it is, the attachment for me is to the players, especially to the new gens. I also had a 6'8" centre half on that save, actually, who I was a huge fan of. He had absolutely no technical ability, but he was a giant, so he scored like 1 million goals from corners.
Sometimes the like weird jagged edges about a player are what differentiate them from me.
Yeah,
like maybe it's the fact they're 6'8", maybe it's the fact they're 5'3", maybe it's the fact that they're a wonderful player on paper, but they've only ever had 2 finishing, and you just can't figure out why. And like the weirder they are, the more that profile is going to stick with me and be like, that's my guy. There he goes again.
Definitely.
I don't mind them not being the best players ever. Like you mentioned there, if they stand out to me, if there's something unique about them, I'll play them regardless. So at the very least, they'll have a place in my team. It might not be in the starting 11, but it will always be there. It'll be on the bench. It'll be cup games.
Yes, definitely.
So I think we've successfully talked about the narrative enough for today. So, but what I want to hear from both of you is some save ideas for our audience. We already know what we want to do for FM26, or at least I imagine we do. So I'll start with you, Katy. Any ideas that you have that you would suggest to our audience for FM26 to something unique, not just load up a game, not just go to the best club in the world, something unique, something interesting?
So I thought about this for a while, actually. And I came up with, and I'm not sure if anyone else has come up with this as well, Durham's women's team. I believe their nickname is the Wildcats. But what I thought was quite cool, so they're WSL 2. They've only been a club in their current guise for 11 years. And they came about, they sort of grew out of the university team. So they're sort of like a university team that combined with a local side and entered the leagues, basically. So that was my pick. I think it's just really cool to have like a team that's gone from university sport basically to playing professional football or close to professional football, and it helps that their stadium is called Maiden Castle. I checked; it's not an actual castle, unfortunately. But their best ever season, they finished 4th in the WSL. They've never been promoted, and I don't think, I'm just checking just now, I don't think they've ever won a trophy. Oh no, that's a lie, sorry. They have won, that would have been as Durham Sestria. Yeah. So the team that they combined with won the Northern Combination Football League, but the club as it is now has never won a trophy, so they're a complete blank slate. Only 11 years old, and they play in a stadium called Maiden Castle, which I think is excellent. And their badge is a purple wildcat, and I really enjoy all aspects of that, actually. I think it's excellent.
It's
so
really
they were
funny that this is the idea you picked up. Firstly, it's kind of a save I want to do myself for FM26. Not that I was going to bring it up today.
I was fuming. She's like, there goes my idea.
You'll figure out. Look, there's a bit of foreshadowing for later on in the podcast. You'll see what I mean when we get there.
It's going to be the game, isn't it?
It's going to be in the game. It's definitely going to be in the game.
Ank, do you have any ideas for the save for our audience?
So this is not like a small team or an unknown gem or anything like this, but yeah. I think a lot in FM about like clubs that are right on the precipice of like huge success, but have never quite broken through to it. And in the United States, I think the best example of this I can think of in the NWSL is Angel City FC, who have a really stellar, impressive ownership group, a huge amount of money backing them. They are the highest valued women's club in the world at about 250 million right now. Beautiful stadium that they share with LAFC, although they are like a separate entity. They're not like a wing of LAFC. But in recent years, they haven't finished above 5th in the league, and they've missed playoffs every year almost. This is like a team that has this definition of untapped potential. By all metrics, they should be a lot more successful than they currently are. So I think it's a great place to have, like, I want to experience women's football. I want to experience the best that women's football has to offer with an extremely stacked team. And I want to impose a managerial vision and a character and a narrative on this team to be the one that kind of like queen makes, like, because I think it's something where it's like a tactical vision and direction is maybe exactly what this team needs. And it's hard right now because a lot of women's leagues, you're not going to have a very firm sense of progression. You will break through maybe to the top of the league and then maybe to the top of your continental competition. And that's probably it, because we only have like a depth of 2 tiers most places, if even that. But the NWSL is a league where that functionally doesn't really matter, much like the MLS. Promotion and relegation aren't things. So you're going to have to set your own goals regardless. And maybe your goal is being this like dominant media force or dominant financial force or producing the best youth talent in the world. And so I think Angel City is a great like incubator to do that and try that, especially if you're learning the game or you're learning women's football or both.
It's actually interesting you should mention that, like about learning the game and learning about women's football, in that for me, because I don't follow IRL football, I've never known that much about the women's game anyway. But now it's in Football Manager, I am learning more. I am learning about these talented players that exist in real life. And I'm like, they're cool. And I have more of a drive now to actually keep up, actually take an interest in the real life football. So I think using a team like that, using a team like and a team like Durham as well, and having them as your gateway into women's football, not just Football Manager. For me, the save I kind of want to bring to the front is what we were talking about earlier, actually. It's the fixer save. So essentially, pick five leagues or 5 nations. Each nation has to have at least 2 leagues, though. You can't have any one league nation. It could be men's football, it could be women's football, it could be both if you wanted to. And look into the second tier. Look for the team like Saint Etienne, like who have we got in the championship right now that should really ideally be in the Prem.
Southampton.
That's a good one. Pick a team that you're like, they were in the top tier not that long ago. They should be back there, and take them. Give yourself 3 seasons at each club. So pick your first team, get them promoted, get them to a place that you're comfortable with. And then after 3 seasons, leave. And then do the same elsewhere. Go somewhere else in Europe or go somewhere else in the world that you've selected in your game. And what I found that did, it would open up my horizons a little bit on the experience. It was a great way to get into more interesting saves in Football Manager, because for the longest time, like so many Football Manager players out there, I think we often stick to the English league. Mm-hmm. We'll go to the Premiership, or maybe we'll do a non-league to legend. But we'll always do it in England. But what that fixer save did is it showed me that there is a world outside of the English leagues that actually were really fun and rich with history. So that's my suggestion to the audience. Now, I think we've sufficiently talked about narrative and saves for the day. I want to move on to a game, as we've already alluded to, and I think you're both going to love this one. Katy, you're worried, but honestly, you're going to love this.
Terrified, honestly. I feel like I have this illusion of having some sort of ball knowledge, and it's about to get absolutely shattered. So
this game, I'm about to share my screen, and this game is called Tony Can't Read.
I think the games are always Tony abuse. We're getting a recurring theme here.
I have decided that all games going forward will be in some way Tony related. So yeah. So
that is extraordinary.
I haven't asked Tony's permission.
So it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
This is the influence of the multi-podcast ownership group at play.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Tony has played this game. You are both together competing against Tony. And I trust Tony that he didn't cheat, because he didn't do this on camera like you two are. He did this. I sent this game to him and then he completed it. I'll tell you what Tony's score is afterwards, and to see whether you beat Tony or not.
God.
So, this game, I am going to give you a club crest. But since Tony can't read, it would be unfair to give you the name of the club in the crest. So I have deleted all text from the crest.
Oh my gosh.
There is 14. There's 14 crests, one for each league in the women's game in Football Manager. So I will bring up the first one. So the first one
I know this
is an easy one. It's an easy one. So between the two of you,
I think we know what this one is.
I think you do too. Between the two of you, you have to work out what club this is.
Katy, would you like the honors?
I think, based on my extensive knowledge of the WSL2, I believe this to be Durham women's team.
Yes, and I concur, because the Wildcat is purple.
Purple Wildcat.
Are you both correct? Yes, you are. Congratulations.
Excellent.
That is 1 out of 14.
God,
We'll
I
keep
think
track
it's
of it.
14. Okay, you said for one for every league in the game. Oh,
Yeah, one for every league.
Our ball knowledge is going to get destroyed. We're going to be frauds, shams.
Are we against each other or just against Tony?
We're just
You're
against Tony, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's collaborative.
You're
I'm
both
less worried.
working together to
Less
destroy
concerned.
Tony.
We got one. We got one, though.
There's one. That might be one more than Tony got.
So that one is good. So the next one. This one is in the French. I think it's the Premier League. I think it literally just is the Premier League, but in a French way.
For clarification, some of these are shared with men's clubs.
Yes, some of them are, not all of them.
Okay.
Because Katie, I have a guess, but I don't want to blurt it if you have a better one.
You can blurt it. Just give me a final. You can.
I think that's Saint
say
Etienne.
names.
I think
That's
that's
what I was
ASSE. It would be the letters on the top.
Yeah, it looks very. I don't know how to say it. I was going to try and put on a French accent there, but I don't want to get cancelled. Yeah, I think that's Saint Etienne.
Sweet. You good with that?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Sweet. You're correct. It is Saint Etienne. Another team that we've also mentioned in today's podcast.
This
I was
wasn't
talking
a
about
setup.
it. Yeah, I think it was one of my fixer teams. It's when I went to France. It went obviously back in FN24 now. And what I loved about the men's Saint Etienne team, at least before he's since moved, their goalkeeper is called Etienne Green.
Yeah, you love Etienne Green.
That man was produced in a lab for the club.
He wasn't. He moved from like a Prem team to St. Etienne.
Yeah, he moved to a Prem team.
He's English.
No, he's English French.
English French. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Alice
takes
his
him-
name, not Steve. Like
Alice takes him everywhere she goes. Every club.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where we go. I turn on the stream. There he is, throwing the ball into the back of his own net. Because he's
That only
not a very
happened
good.
once.
No,
That
it
only
happened
happened once.
Twice. At least twice.
So, well done. That is 2-0. Next one. So this time we go to Spain. This is the Premier Federico. I can't pronounce these. This is the Spanish second tier.
Second tier.
Yeah, I think this is the second tier of Spanish football.
That shits me up a little bit.
I'm going to have to bring up the actual graphics for that for my own.
And the only thing omitted from these are words. There aren't like...
The only thing is words,
Okay.
yeah. There's nothing else is taken away from the graphic.
Because the color scheme gives me an idea, but
Yeah.
I think the idea might be
the
wrong
ball-
if that's the case.
Ball feels
Yeah.
familiar.
Okay, what are your
Words
thoughts?
I have never before uttered in my life and never intend to. It feels very Real Sociedad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looks very similar, but where's our snaky snake?
Oh, no snaky snake. That's a good point. Maybe the women's team don't get a snaky snake.
Maybe the women's teams don't get a snaky snake. I'm okay with that guess because that is what the color scheme reminded me of immediately.
And the ball. Yeah, I think Sociedad.
So you both think Real Sociedad?
Yeah. Although who is this?
See.
CE Europa.
Oh.
They are. I'd never heard of them until the other day when I made this game. But they are in the second tier, and if my memory serves me correct, they are not affiliated with any men's team. So they are one of the women-owned teams.
Were they once affiliated with the Snaky Snakes?
Did they at some point fall out with a snake?
Yeah. Because they share uncannily a ball and a color scheme.
I actually don't think so. I think they're based in Catalan.
Do they share a graphic designer? We're grasping at straws here. But...
Having Googled it, they do have a men's team.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and the men's team, from what I can tell, were one of the founding teams of La Liga. They're one of the 10 founding members of La Liga.
Oh. Clearly I was wrong then.
And I don't think have been in La Liga since the 1960s.
So like Durham, where their men's team is lower than their women's team.
Yeah.
This next one. So that's your first one you've got wrong. But the next one, I think you're probably both going to get.
So
This is the WSL.
These are Lionesses.
Yes.
London City Lionesses.
Cool. I think I won't. You are correct. London City Lionesses. That was a good one. So we are currently 3-1, I think. Next one. We're going to the Welsh Prem. So this is the Arden Prem.
This is where both of you are playing right now.
Yes. So Katy should be getting this.
I should be getting this. Oh, God.
This one, I actually didn't have to remove any text because the name of the club isn't on the crest.
We're out here trying to work it out. It's probably just a motto.
Yeah, this is the Arden Prem
Alice,
in
I
Wales.
swear to God.
And Katy is playing in this league right now.
Katie's going to have to come through on this one.
And isn't getting this one.
I'm trying to think if there's...
No cheating, Katy. There's no cheating.
Because I do remember some of these teams from my Wrexham time early on. We got friendly.
So something in me thinks that Alice is evil enough to make this Barrytown United, but I don't think it is.
I don't remember what Barry's crest is.
I didn't see a boat when I was in Barry, not a pirate ship.
To bury us.
Yeah.
If it's one per league, it's probably Barry. Does Barry even have a women's side?
They do. My 5'4" goalkeeper conceded 6 to them.
Is Barry coastal enough to have a ship to justify it?
Yes.
Okay, it's Barry.
Barry, for context, Barry is a coastal town. Mm-hmm. It's an old mining port, really, or coal port, and it at one point used to be one of, if not the biggest port in the world. So it has that history of seafaring.
All right, so this is Barry, and if it isn't, it should have been.
No, I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? Okay, well...
I don't. I think it's too obvious.
You better get a better guess in there, because I'm not going to. It doesn't look like any of the Welsh clubs I can think of.
I know, and I feel like it's very Alice to put Barry in there. I'm just going to sit and stare at Alice for at least a minute. See if she's back.
I'm not going to give you a minute. we got people watching
because we can pontificate on these clubs.
There were boats in Barry? There were.
Yes, there's typically boats in the
I fear there were also
coastal club. Thematically, it fits.
Go for it.
We're overthinking it. Yeah.
Barrytown United. I have drastically overthought that. That is. Yeah, Barry.
It's not going to come up with any words because, like I said, technically doesn't have the name of the club, but yes, you are correct. This is Barrytown.
I can't believe I almost talked myself out of that.
Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, a dreadful club crest. I think
you need to redesign that, actually. The other team that I thought it might have been was Breton Ferry, just because of the boat.
Yeah, got Breton Ferry. No. All right.
Alas.
You talked like Ank said. You talked yourself out of it.
I'm really glad Ank was here because
that's a seafaring boat that would go out on open ocean rather than one that would be a coastal ferry.
Pirates and such.
Yeah.
Next one, we go to the Danish A-League.
Oh my lord! Oh wow!
I'm not going to get this one. The colors don't even tip me off. I don't think I load this league. I don't think I load men's Denmark most of my saves. Sorry, Denmark.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. Honestly, the Danish A-League, I didn't know many of the teams in it. And part of the issue is there was a couple where that would have been better, but I had no idea how to pronounce them. So I didn't...
Right, okay, that's good.
All right, so it's easy to pronounce. That doesn't help me because I know 3 of the Danish teams and they're unpronounceable, so... It's It's not.
I'm trying to think.
It's not that. They're blue.
They're blue. I'm trying to think what Danish clubs I know, and they're all blue.
They're all blue.
Blue all the way down.
Apart from Nordsjælland's not blue. Nordsjælland's red and orange.
Yeah, but they're not green.
Lyngby's blue. Copenhagen's blue. Randers are blue. AGF are blue.
Are you giving up?
I'll concede on this one, but Katy might have a brain blast.
No. I can see them. There is a green team.
There is.
How many have we gotten done?
I don't know. How many have we got left? I'm kind of
How many do you have after this? Well, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh god!
Oh my god! So there's 9 more. You're gonna have to time us, Alice.
This is the 6th one. Yeah, we're on the 6th one right now.
Viborg, something like that. They're the only green Scandinavian team I can think of. I don't even know if they're Danish.
Yeah.
I just know they're in that part of the world somewhere.
So what was the suggestion?
Viborg or Viborg.
How do you spell that?
V-I-B-O.
Okay.
Does it begin with a V?
Alice is like, it doesn't matter how you spell it, it's not them.
It is not.
Oh, wow.
Fortuna.
Hjoring. Fortuna Hjoring. Don't know them.
Yeah. Nope. It was a difficult
don't
one.
Even know her.
It was always, this one was always going to be difficult in the Danish A-League. Either I couldn't pronounce it or I didn't know them. Like one of the two. Like.
Okay.
Next one is definitely one that Ank should be getting.
I can already tell from the little preview what it is.
Yes, we will be very disappointed if you're not.
Kansas. Oh no! Wait. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, that's not. That's not. I was wrong on my little preview. It was the wrong.
What did you think it was?
So I saw the pink and I saw the tealy and I thought it was going to be a team that I'm not going to say because I would be guessing the wrong team.
No, you can say I will hold you to random.
I thought it was going to be the current because I saw the little preview, and it's not the current. Okay. It's not the current. This is it's San Diego, right?
San Diego.
Yeah. This is San Diego.
Good with that?
Yeah.
San Diego.
But yeah, no, the colors threw me off because I saw the little preview and I saw pink and teal, and I went, I know that one. Vaguely wave shaped.
It is San Diego.
But it's San Diego. Yeah.
The reason I picked this one is because I think it looks the bomb.
Well, the Current have a really cute one too. Like, there's a lot of pink going around in the NWSL.
I'm not a massive fan of the text. I don't think the font.
You don't
is
like the font choice.
Yeah, but the actual
very
crest
California
itself.
font, isn't it?
Yeah, but the actual crest itself.
Yeah, the crest,
I
cool.
just it's
I
nice.
think the
nice
only
and
crest
simple.
that I outright hate in the NWSL is I hate Bay FC. It's very it's very Yankees. It's that kind of American sports badge.
These baseball people.
Yeah.
Next one, we go to Sweden.
What?
This is the Swedish
The Italians,
Elitan,
right?
which is the second tier of Sweden. God. And this, I didn't know any team in it. So I just picked the badge that I thought looked the prettiest.
Can you pronounce this one?
Yes. I can.
Okay.
I don't have a guess, but I am like curious about what this badge is supposed to be because I'm guessing it is also something wave related. I think that is a little fishing boat or a lighthouse or something, and then we've got some.
I think that's hills.
You think it's
I think
hills?
that's hills and a building.
Yeah, I feel like hills in a factory or something.
Could be a mine.
Yeah,
it's definitely some sort of like skyline.
Yeah, nothing about Swedish football at all.
The club I've heard of, I know of the club. I just never saw their crest before. We give another one. We're going to give up on.
I think we have to.
I'm going to say like Elfsborg or something.
Elfsborg?
Yeah.
It is.
Gusk. Gusk.
I need information on
is kind of
Gusk.
oval and Gusk.
Yeah, I knew they
What
were
does
kind of
Gusk
yellowy.
stand for?
This is Gamla Uppsala.
Wow.
Gamla
club?
Uppsala SK.
Yeah.
I assume SK stands
Sporting
for
club
Sport
of
club,
some
football,
kind.
yeah, in Swedish. But yeah, Gamla Uppsala, which it's a cool thing to say, actually. So that one we failed to get. So that was the Swedish second tier, as they are one of the nations in FM26 to get 2 tiers. The Swedish top tier.
Oh. I know what this one looks like. But I don't know what the letters are.
It's the same as or similar to the men's logo, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Hacken?
It's exactly
It's
the
the
same. It's
same.
exactly the same as the men's.
Is it?
It's one of the clubs that has.
BK Hacken?
They're
I think it's Hacken.
I'm not going to say
words
it.
have
I'm not
lost
going to
them.
say it. But the problem is it's so recognizable to me, and I can see like the letters
Yeah.
diagonally across it, but it's not going to come. I'm going to feel very silly when you show it.
I will venture BK Hacken.
You're going to venture BK Hacken? Congratulations. It is BK Hacken.
That's it. That's all I have now. I really hope the rest of them are super easy
That was
for
a
you
good one.
because I'm out.
The next one, we go to the Italian Serie A,
Oh, this is
the women's version.
Okay, we'll be good at this. Oh,
This should be an easy one.
thanks looking at it like
Yeah,
no.
I'm looking at it like
It's Parma.
Parma, you good with that? Yeah, sorry. My mouse is on. I can see the same thing on 2 different screens, and my mouse is confusing me. It is indeed Parma.
Hey.
Well done. Next up, we go to Australia. This is the Ninja A-League in Australia.
The ninja. Oh god.
And this
dear.
one, I would be shocked if you got. Again, it was very similar to Denmark in where it was different. Oh, not
Looks
Denmark.
like a
sorry,
cricket logo.
Funny you should mention that. This might actually be one of them. But there was some clubs while I was doing my research where they were both a cricket club and a football club.
Oh.
And I think this actually might be one of them. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. I thought that was just really weird and interesting.
the only A-League clubs I can think of are ones it definitely isn't. So that's not helpful. I know it's not Wellington.
Yeah.
I know it's not Melbourne.
Adelaide? Would Adelaide be green? Is Adelaide a green place?
Adelaide is it way far south? It's a cheat code to be like, oh, it's coastal because it's Australia. They're all coastal.
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing in the middle. No, I'm just thinking like, is it the kind of place where there would be trees? It's very tree coded.
Are many places in Australia tree coded?
Some, I think, yeah.
New Zealand's very
New Zealand is
tree coded.
New Zealand teams don't play in the A-League though.
A couple of them do in the men's. I don't know about the women's. That's why they sent
That was Wellington, right?
the non-professional team because the A-League teams couldn't compete.
That's fascinating. I like Adelaide as a shout, but I will defer.
I think Ank's a little lost.
Yeah, no, I
I will take Adelaide as your answer.
Oh, that's
and
encouraging.
you are wrong.
Oh,
Canberra United.
bet Canberra's got trees.
I assume they also have a cricket pitch.
Oh, almost
that what you-
definitely. I think
Is that what you call a cricket pitch? Is it
a
a
wicket,
pitch?
I feel.
A wicket.
Wicket.
Yeah. But I think that's only the little bit in the middle.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's fine.
wait. Is it actually
An
called a
oval.
cricket
An
wicket?
oval.
A cricket wicket?
No. The wicket is the wicket.
Y'all are making this sport up. This isn't real.
No.
The wicket.
It's not real.
The wicket is the 3 wooden spikes with the little dongles on top.
Dongles?
I don't know what they're called, but
Yeah,
I'll
the
go with a
cricket
dongle.
Very technical term.
Next one. We're going to France. No,
Oh,
sorry,
no.
we're not.
We
We're
already
going
did France.
to Germany. This is the Frauen Bundesliga.
Oh, God.
This one, I had to choose this one because all the others were just easy.
Yeah.
It was a case of like,
Yeah, we could have that, really,
You
could
couldn't
we?
give us an easy one.
it was kind of like France. It was difficult to find a difficult one.
I think you're just deliberately like grinding down our ball knowledge.
I'm also,
You're humbling us.
I have to protest. There's no chance Tony got 14 of these. Not a hope.
Sure
We
about
don't know what Tony's
Yeah.
score was.
Oh, I thought he got 14.
She
I
said she
haven't
was
given
going to
you his
reveal
score.
it at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
It may
think
be
you're
better than
panicking.
us,
I'm
it
like,
may be worse than
I
us.
can't lose to Tony. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to pick the difficult one. The others were just too easy. Like Durham.
Yeah,
Just far too easy.
everything that I can think of has a men's team, and it's none of those.
I think I can't 100% remember, but I do think this is one of the women's only teams. Although, again, I might be wrong on that one.
I'm not getting it. I concede.
Yeah, I concede.
This one is Carl Zeiss Jenner.
Oh,
I think they do have
a
a
men's
If they've
team.
got a men's team,
Yeah.
it's low. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like the third league. Deep cut. Kegman Plays did a save with Carl Zeiss Jenner, I'm pretty sure. It was either him or Scooter.
I think
But
you just
we
saw the
failed to
word
get that
Jenna
one.
and was like, that's eerily similar to Jenner Park.
Barry, Jenner Park. It's gone too far. It's gone too far now, Alice.
We're going to Japan.
What on earth
This
is
is
this?
the Japanese
It's a Shiba.
Sunpot WE League.
It is a Shiba. Can we get half points for naming the dog correctly?
I'll consider it.
Okay, good. Now
This
that you've
one-
considered it, what do you think?
This one, I think you should get. It's a good name. It's a good name for a club.
Oh my god, I saw this on Twitter. Oh, I got in an argument with a man about this in the Discord.
I know you did.
Well, you better.
I was there. I saw that.
It's Jeff. The dog's name is Jeff.
The
The
dog's
Shiba
name
is called Jeff.
Okay, but what's the club called?
Jeff.
The club is called Jeff.
The club's called Jeff.
The club is called Jeff.
This man was raging. So someone had posted that they'd like found the names in the Japanese league really funny, and they wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for women's football. And this
I
man was
remember
like,
this argument
"I'll
too.
have you
I
know,
don't even-
brother, come on, Jeff. It's Jeff Shiba. Jeff the Shiba.
But is that the name of the
Jeff.
club?
Yeah,
Is that like the
JEF,
sponsor?
yeah.
Like
Jeff.
like it stands for something, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this to you. I
God
think
bless the man in the Discord. They got so annoyed about the
there's no
Japanese
text.
leagues.
There's no text for this one. This is the crest. But it is Chiba. The club is called
Jeff
Chiba,
Chiba.
but it's Jeff.
Jeff
It starts
Chiba.
with J-E-F. So I will give you Jeff.
Presumably,
That
like
is
a lot
sufficient.
of Japanese clubs,
My
it's
name
the
is Jeff.
sponsor and then the club.
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah.
sponsored by Jeff. Whomever.
I honestly couldn't
Who's
tell you, but yeah,
ever
Shiba's
Jeff
sponsored by
maybe.
Jeff. Whomst is Jeff?
So devoid of context, I was going to guess the Shibas
Yeah.
as a bit.
no, it
But
is
it
Chiba.
been a correct bit. So.
It is Chiba.
Okay.
I guess that's why there's a Shiba. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Next one, and this is
What a
the
phenomenal
last
time
one.
to be alive.
There's only one left. We're going to the Spanish Liga F.
God, what is that?
It's very
It's
Art
got
Nouveau.
text on it. Yeah, it's why I
Very
picked it.
avant-garde.
There's a bit of 6-7 going on at the top.
I don't think tilting your head is going to help Katy.
Oh my god, there is 6-7 going on the top.
There's 6-7 at the top. Alice, what are you trying to do to us here?
We've been
Oh yeah, that is
Gen
6-7.
Alpha'd.
I'd be shocked.
Presumably it's an A at the bottom. Does that help?
I'm going to be shocked.
An
if
A,
you
a
get
very
this one.
surprised A, I think.
Do we think that 6-7 is deliberate? And if 6-7 is deliberate, is it a year or is it an OV?
Is it a 6-7 or is it a 9-2?
Oh,
yeah.
it could be a
Either.
9-2.
Or is it just on? Just like
I'm
Amy
gonna
and
guess
Dora?
that whatever is on the top is a founding year, and whatever in the bottom is their actual initials.
Oh, that's
Does
a
that
good
help
shout.
us? I don't know. I don't know if that helps us.
I will give you a hint. There's no numbers in this crest.
What?
None of those are numbers.
You're
I
lying
Are we
to me.
sure? Are we sure?
This is a
think,
falsehood.
and I might be wrong. It's an ON. Based on the name. Although again, like, it's very difficult to tell what this is. Like, I get that there's an A here, there's an O and what looks like an N that's coming off there. But there could be letters elsewhere. Honestly, I can't see them, but
There's an A.
this might be an O. The whole thing might be an O. But there's a letter missing.
What?
I can't see it. Assuming that is what it is.
I don't think this is helping.
Yeah.
I was hoping
It's
that
not.
this
Wait,
deductive
wait.
sleuthing would get us closer, but I don't think it is.
I think it's
Is
just
there an
confusing one of us
L?
more. Sorry?
Well, owner? No.
It's funny because I think you're actually on the right tracks.
Yeah. I
possibly be
feel like this is
Barcelona.
like those terrible like man on the street TikToks where they test
There's
ball
gonna be-
knowledge and you're
there's gonna
just
be
sitting there
clips.
watching it like, oh my god, I could get that. I could get that so easily. I know Jeff. Doesn't everybody know Jeff?
I know Jeff.
Jeff is basic
My
ball
name is
knowledge.
Jeff from Barry.
Oh, Jeff from Barry. So I think if that's an O and that's an N and I can't move my neck anymore,
I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
they were in a llama video.
Oh.
They were in a
You
llama
have some?
video. Is there okay? This is maybe a terrible cut, but this is going to be my guess unless Katy has a better one. I did watch an Ashai TC7's video about Oviedo and about how there were 3 different clubs in Oviedo, and one was like a women's only club that was occupying the grounds lease at that point. And my guess is that while I can't identify that club by name, that's my. It's somebody in Oviedo.
So my thing is that is an ONA, right? And it can't be Barcelona because I know what that looks like. And the only other ONA club that I can think of in Spain, I don't even know if they have a women's team, would be Badalona.
Interesting.
And I feel like
Is there a B
either
involved?
Llama or Stinger.
Is there a B involved in that crest? I haven't found one
I
yet.
mean, there's
Maybe
not
there
an
doesn't
L
have to
either,
be.
but it's either that or it's like Club 6-7 and I refuse to be that
Apparently
Gen
there's
Alpha.
not a 6-7. We can
Oh, I
rule that one
know.
out.
I don't know, but I feel like Badalona is a thing because Llama or Stinger, one of the two, did a save with them a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I can't remember what their badge looks like, but they're the only other ONAs that I know.
If
So
we're
I'm
confident in Sonona.
I think so. If it's not numbers, then it has to be letters, right?
Yeah. That's why I was thinking with the O's is like maybe it's a city that begins with O, and I'm like, okay, I know one city that has at least 3 clubs, and one of them is a top flight women's club.
I think my reasoning is strong,
Okay.
and we can't name your Oviedo
No,
club.
we
Even though
can't.
I
We
love the
can't.
logic that we don't know what they're called.
We're no closer.
So what was-
I want to say
what was it?
Badalona.
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 Yay! Beautiful.
I
But why is that logo?
shocked.
Why is that their logo?
I don't know, but I think it has every letter in it. So you've obviously
cannot
got...
find the
Possibly.
B.
No, I'm sorry.
Now I
So I
gotta find
can't
the
find-
B.
I can't find the B, but the D is this bit, right? It's just on its side.
We can't see your mouse.
Oh,
the D.
okay.
The D.
Yeah, you have to tilt your head to the side. That's the D. You've obviously got the A. There's only one A, but yeah.
I'm gonna drive myself crazy trying to find that B.
There's one in the 6-7. There's an A in the like the bottom triangle. You turn your head. There's an A there as well.
It's what? Where?
So like, it's the same shape as the one at the bottom.
This is great podcasting.
Yeah, I really hope everyone's watching this on video because this is incredible
please,
content.
Follow the podcast on Spotify. Listen to the audio-only version. You'll get a lot out of it.
Like it's like the triangle is at the top of the other A, but you have to tilt your head so that you're.
This is like a terrible Rorschach test. Like, can you find the B in there? Is it two bears high-fiving? Like.
Do you see a butterfly or a blood spatter?
But yeah, this was a difficult one.
I fear I have peaked and I will be participating in no further quizzes.
Katie's ball knowledge is unbeatable. I bet Tony didn't get that one.
Yeah, I bet Tony got like 3 and we've been sitting here stressing ourselves out over this.
Let me just double check, but I think I know your score. I think you got 9.
No,
1,
surely we got
2,
more than that.
3, 4,
no,
5,
no.
6.
You got Barry.
7.
Don't take Barry away from me.
8, 9. You got 9.
Okay.
So the question is, did Tony get more, less, or equal to than you?
I bet Tony didn't get Jeff. And
I
Tony
don't think Tony got Badalona either.
Okay, so maybe Tony got 7. But was there something obvious that we missed? Not really.
No, they were all quite niche, the ones that we didn't get. He might have got Carl's Ice Jenna, actually.
Could have gotten Canberra. Top flight.
He might think Canberra's a bird.
So you both got 9.
Yeah.
Tony got 8.
Hey! Have it.
It was, you were neck and neck right up until this one.
That's crazy.
Tony didn't get the Badalona. He got every one of the ones that you did as well.
Interesting.
That's mad.
Tony knows Jeff.
Tony knows Jeff.
Tony knows Jeff.
I bet you Tony did exactly the same thing. I bet he was like that man in the Discord.
Argument in the Discord about this.
Yeah, he got involved. I got like 7 100% reactions.
Tony put.
God bless Discord, man.
Tony put. So I'll show you what Tony's put.
Oh yeah, go on then.
So for
remember not to include the ones that he slagged us off. Don't show the message where he slagged us off.
I've given them to him in a random order, and I don't remember what that order was. Oh, there it is. So the Australian team, who I've already forgotten.
Canberra.
Canberra. Yeah. He said Brisbane Roar.
Oh, okay.
He thought that CCF was. Oh, what did he think? Real Sociedad.
Oh, so did we.
We did that, yeah. Yep.
He thought that this one, the Badalona one, was Mallorca.
I was going to say, if you say a random team from Oviedo. It's Tony in my wall. What is going on?
He thought the Frauen Bundesliga one was Freiburg. He got...
Odd man.
He got the San Diego one correct. Mm-hmm. He got Jeff, but he put Jeff United. He didn't put Chiba, so he pretty much did what you did as well.
I think we dock a point from him for that, and he's lost by 2.
You didn't get Chiba either, did you?
Yeah, we did.
You got Jeff.
Jeff the Chiba.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll give you that one. He got Hacken as well.
Yeah.
BK Hacken. He said that the Swedish one, the other Swedish one was Malaby. Malby. He got Barry right. I don't think he had any issues there, like you two.
I just
having a mental breakdown trying to get Barry.
Well, genuinely, that was like psychological warfare. I'm like, she wouldn't do that to us, would she?
Did you not literally? Did you not just finish a save in Wales?
Finish is a very generous description of what happened to that save.
Did you play against Barry?
Yes. Thrice. Did I beat them? No. No, I
Tony
did
got
not.
the Lionesses, learned the Lionesses. He got Saint Etienne, and he got Durham. He got Parma, and he failed to get the Fortuna one as well. He put Aarhus. I've never heard of Aarhus before.
Yeah.
So well done. You've beat Tony. You've triumphed gloriously. Congratulations.
Phenomenal scenes.
Right, that is pretty much the end of our show. I got to actually get rid of this now. What is it? Stop sharing? I think that's the correct one. Yeah, there we go. Technology is difficult. So before we go, I'd like us all to share something outside of football today. I'm going to start with you, Katy. Share something with us outside of football.
Do I have... I think my trauma about my Sims mods folder might be all I have, really, outside of football. I think that getting deleted and having to re-download it is my current trauma, I think. No, actually, that's unfair. No, that's it. That's it. I booked tickets to go see Wicked.
Cool.
That my other half doesn't know about, but if he's listening to the podcast, does now know about. It
just comes out on Monday, so...
Oh, I've got time.
Let's see if they have the patience to go through. Tony can't read.
No, I think that's really losing.
Tony may or may not be edited down. We'll see.
No, I think that should be published in all of its glory, actually, if I can be completely frank.
Ang, if you could share something with us. If you have anything at all.
I have something, but it is football related. So am I allowed to share the football related thing?
Go for it. Go for it.
My local USL team won the league 2 weeks ago. Advanced in the quarterfinals and then the semifinals, and the final is this Sunday. So by the time this podcast launches, I will know whether we did the double or not. And I will throw out. We play in a baseball stadium, which means every game has this netting in front of it before you can see the pitch. Because for baseball, you have very fast, small objects coming at the crowd and maybe killing people. So the netting can't go away. And I am fingers crossed that at least for the final, they will take the netting down. So that is my thing that I am banking on this weekend. And not only that we win, but that we win without netting in front of my view.
No netting required.
So that is what I'm looking forward to this weekend and what I've got going on in real life.
So this podcast will come out after. So the audience can, the viewers and listeners can look that up if they so wish to. The thing I'd like to share outside of football and FM is a series that I've just started. It's on Apple TV. It's called Pluribus. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I keep seeing adverts for that.
It is very good. So they've released the first 2 episodes. And I don't want to give too much away, but essentially, if you allow me to share the 1-sentence synopsis that the show gives you, is that only 12 people, a virus takes control, an alien virus takes control of the world, and only 12 people are not infected.
Oh, God.
It is very good. I highly recommend it to both of you and to anyone else that wants this new series to watch.
My quick Google is that it's also the showrunner is Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Yes, so that's a pretty impressive resume there.
On a completely separate note, I cannot possibly recommend All's Fair. I've been made to watch it, so it's like is it Ryan Murphy? They get the American Horror Story?
Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus. And to be fair, the cast should be great. And it might be the most mind-numbing, so far 4 hours of television that I've sat through. Please don't watch it. Don't. Just don't. Just don't.
You know what else
I was
Ryan
also made
Murphy
aware.
is responsible for?
Oh, it's all the Ed Gein stuff, no?
Glee.
Oh, God.
We've come full circle.
The dialogue in
circle.
All's Fair makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I was also informed yesterday that The Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out in March next year, which I'm very pleased about. But yeah, don't watch All's Fair. Just to counterbalance Alice's recommendation, I have one for you not to watch. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's dreadful. Save
Thank
yourself.
you, Katie. We all, I'm sure we all appreciate the non-recommendations. So thank you to Ank and thank you to Katie for hanging out with me tonight. We have been we've been recording for a while, so I apologize to editor Chris for the long episode, and I apologize to anyone that wanted a nice short podcast for their journey home. That's not what you've got today.
No.
So thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. And we will see you on the next episode of the WFM show. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.